So back to reality again now. A couple of days off, sorry. It's been a busy time getting back into the swing of things. But I just finished episode 2, editing it. Here it is. Starts a bit abruptly, but I thought I'd best do a little bit of an intro. Woke up super early on the Friday morning and needed to go to the toilet. Got out of my tent, and it's happened a couple of times over the years, but you're greeted with the most incredible sunrise, and fog is just set on across the tents. Somewhere I've got an amazing picture of a tent, just like the top of it popping out of the clouds. And I've been wanting to do something similar since. I managed to just get this cool little shot of that, exactly that. Back to bed. Tents just soaked in mist and no one's awake. It's just a wonderful time. I love it. Again, we had a bit of a lazy morning. Wake up slowly, go get some food. The co-op on site was amazing this year. Had everything you needed. But having a meal deal, number one, is great if you're trying to save money. Number two, it was too hot to have hot food. I wasn't in the mood for it. I didn't want a lot of food. I wanted something to keep me going. Headed into the arena, first thing, I think we headed in about 11:45. Caught the tail end of Blocks. Let's go check out Blocks then, shall we? Which was really great, and a massive turnout for them compared to last year, obviously. I don't know if that's because it was Friday and people were excited, but there was a big turnout for them. It was really good to see that. Followed quickly by Ocean Alley. Blocks was a lovely start, but now off to go see the wonderful, the illustrious, the dreamy, the Ocean Alley. And this was one that I was so excited to see. The tent was jam-packed of Australians, and you know, these 6 guys just wake you up on a sunny Friday morning is a wonderful thing. They were so good. By the time they got around to Confidence, everyone was in the mood for it. Oh, brilliant. They didn't play Stained Glass though, that upset me. But so good after a few days of drinking, wonderful to see it. Really happy I got to see them. They're an act that I was excited to see this year. Over the moon, played an amazing set. They're an amazing set of musicians. Following that, we then headed back over to the Radio 1 stage to check out Seagulls, a band that they've got a lot of hype around them at the moment. A lot of hype around Seagulls, and really impressed to see them and their turnout be so good. Yeah, tent was rammed. They're going to go on to be a very big band, I think. Really, really big. At this point, it was back over again to the Festival Republic stage to go see No Rome. The video that got the most views on my channel was No Rome. Again, tent was absolutely packed out. It was alright. I think when the tent's that busy, that stage doesn't sound so good if you're stuck at the back. You couldn't really see a lot, but yeah, he's if you're a fan of No Rome, it would have been amazing because it was just absolutely rammed, and that guy's got a huge career ahead of him as well. So we have done this morning Blocks, Ocean Alley, Seagulls, which was rammed, good for them. Just on No Rome, which was also rammed, unnecessarily so. Back over to the Radio 1 stage to go check out Mini Mansions, aka 1/4 of Queens of the Stone Age. You know, a really, really great. I love a few of those records. They've got that kind of Queen's feel about their musicianship, if that's a word, but also they have a very different sound which works really, really well. At this point, we just had to take a break from the sun. It was so hot everywhere that we just needed to go and cool down. So we headed back to, and there was a bit of a gap in the lineup, so we headed back to our camp, had a little kind of kip, a little catch up, drank a couple of cold beers, and came back in to watch Scarlord, who I was really excited to check out, Will was really excited to check out. The thing with Scarlord is that he's had a lot of material in a very short space of time, so I didn't know any of the songs that he played, but the tent was packed, the energy was incredible in there, and he is just balancing that line really well between kind of punk and rap. Just, yeah, really, really interesting show. Really thoroughly enjoyed watching what we did watch. Would have liked to have known more of his music. That's my fault. At that point, we then went and, it was the hottest part of the day at this point, so we just went back and chilled for like an hour or so. Drank a couple of beers, take it easy. There's no point in going too hard. I've done, those years are behind me, so for this one it was all about just kind of chilling out a bit. Well, I don't know about anyone else on this glorious evening, but we have been absolute pussies, because it is unbearably hot. It's actually lush. Actually, that breeze is lovely. We're just heading in to see a little bit of the Wombats before checking out Laura Jane Grace. Oh, we've got an empty bottle, shit. Went back in to see the Wombats, who I was really not excited to see this year. They have played that slot before. In fact, they played that slot last year. They haven't really sent any new music since then. So I wasn't excited by it. And then when we went in, there was something really special. There was a huge crowd for them. People were so excited about hearing their music. It felt like they shouldn't have played last year, which is a weird thing to say, but this year felt like a hell of an achievement for them as a band. It's so rare that you have a band that have such a strong first album, and then a good second album, dip away for third, and then their latest album is as good as it is. Turn is probably their best record. That doesn't happen with bands very often. So it was really great to see them. I thought they were amazing. And I'd like to see them come back with a bit of a vengeance next time and play a higher slot. I think they deserve it. Yeah, second from top or headlining the Radio 1 stage, I think is in their bones now. I think they're absolutely ready for that. Maybe a little break to warrant it, but yeah, a great set regardless. Next we headed over to the Pit, is that right? Next we headed over to the Pit to go check out Laura Jane Grace and the Devouring Mothers. One of the first acts that I discovered from just doing this series. I thoroughly enjoy them. I think she's an amazing artist and has amazing music. She's a bit old school in her approach. She was explaining the story of the records that she'd written. She starts telling the story about being in Barcelona. And I can picture the story she's telling about being there and going up the gondolas and being driven around by a guy that looked like Eazy-E. And I can just understand and align with that story. And then she broke into the story of my favourite song by her, Screamy Dreamy. As she's playing Screamy Dreamy, the sun is setting, piercing through the tent. You've got a wonderful blend of the stage lights and the sunlight hitting the audience. To dream. Please come down now and go to sleep. It's a shot which I'll never forget. I actually managed to get a good photo of it, but that image of that sunset listening to that song was just amazing. And so good. She's so good. Following this, we went back to the main stage to catch Royal Blood, at which point my little brother goes, I don't really rate Royal Blood. Now, my brother loves rock and roll. Will loves heavy music. That's his thing. So for him to turn around and say, I'm not that fussed by Royal Blood, confused me. His mind changed very, very soon. Very quickly, his mind changed. Royal Blood, haven't released anything new in a while, and come back, sub-headline on the main stage. That was an incredible set. Those two are amazing. They did 45 minutes of absolute bangers. Every record they release is so good, it's so loud. There's just 2 of them and they make such a racket. And I loved that Ben was drinking just straight out of a bottle of tequila after every song. It was brilliant. Straight, I think it was a bottle of Patron. Legend. Really, really, they did a wonderful job of taking you from sundown to darkness. Whole set was in black and white, and I was filming on my phone. I forgot that colour existed for a minute. It was so good. So good. After this, we went over to the Festival Republic stage to check out 10 Tons, who drew a fantastic crowd last year. This year, even bigger. When they played Better Than Me, they had everyone on their shoulders. It was so good. He was so energetic, and he's got to be destined for a bigger stage in the coming years. That's without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Following this, it was beer time. The sun had gone down. We had to go get ourselves a cold one. And we were waiting to go and watch one of the bands that I was most excited to see across the weekend, and that's the Chats. The Chats. They're from just up the road from me in Brisbane. They're from Noosa, and they're an amazing punk band that are doing wonderful things. There was chat. There was talk about them in the campsite all weekend when I was talking to other people what they're excited to see. Everyone said the Chats, so was really raring to see them. They did not disappoint. Their set was ridiculous.
Let's fucking go.
So loud. So Australian.
This song's about trying to get on the bus when you don't have enough money for the ticket.
And they were just them. It was brilliant. I loved every single second of that set. And when they played Smoko, everyone went nuts. Oh, brilliant. I then went back to the main stage and caught a pretty early section of the 1975. I managed to catch the bit where Matty was talking about kissing the guy in Dubai, and there was a lot of crowd cheering. It was pretty impressive. Before then heading back to the Festival Republic stage to catch Hobo Johnson, who opened up with Typical Story, and then went into Romeo and Juliet, my 2 favourite songs. I was so happy to have seen both of those records. Over the moon. He has an incredible stage performance.
1, 2, 3, oh shit, god damn it, fuck! That's my shit right there! That's the ticket, you give me the ticket, that's what I want to go! I'm too emotional. Good luck to my future wives and the future lives without me. You guys are too great.
If you ever get to see him live, go. Hobo Johnson and the Lovemakers. Amazing. Amazing headline slot. I caught a good few records from that set and I loved every single second of it. We then went back to the 1975. Again, Will wasn't in the mood to watch them because he's not the biggest fan. I'm seeing them in a few weeks in Australia, so I wasn't in any kind of desperation to watch them. I just wanted to see a bit, so I was there really. What we did see though was pretty cool. The whole kind of moving floor was pretty impressive, and yeah, really interesting, really good. From there we then headed over to the Radio 1 stage to catch Dave, who packed the tent out so much you couldn't actually get inside. We arrived just as he started playing Thiago Silva, And rather than pilling Alex from the audience, he pulled up some kid called Jams. It was really, really good. It was wonderful to see him having so much of a pull, and no surprise really. I mean, the man is on fire at the moment and he's destined for that Mercury, I think. So very, very impressed by that set, and a wonderful end to the first day. How many bands was that? 1, 2, 9, 12, 13, 14 acts on the first day is pretty good going. Headed back to the campsite before the crowds roared in, and got ourselves some shut-eye. What a wonderful Friday that was. Indeed, what an end to that Friday. I'm a little bit gutted I didn't check out all of the 1975, but yeah, as I said, I'm seeing in the 2 weeks, so, you know, it's not the end of the world, is it? Look at this wind. Yeah, maybe that's not too bad. As you can see, it's very windy. Check back tomorrow for the Saturday. I'm trying to shield the wind from this as much as I can, but yeah, a fun one regardless. Right, see you tomorrow.